welcome to Coffee with Covered Bridges. I'm Dot Roan, broker owner of Century 21 Covered Bridges Realty, and with me today are
Ruth Kellyan, realtor.
Karen Rodarmo, realtor.
Sue Barczyk, broker owner.
we're going to talk today about what you need to know when getting a mortgage. First of all, there are three things that you have to have, and that's good income, good credit, and third, you have to have a good amount of money. And we're going to talk about those things and give you some tips to make your home buying process easier if you're obtaining financing.
A credit report is something you should review, get a copy of it, and go over it. It may say that you lived someplace that you've never lived. It may say something about a credit card that you've never had. You need to get that cleaned up so that it is representative of you and what you've done with your credit. There's a FICO score that's very important, and the bank is looking for 700 or greater. If it's less than, there are some options for you, but you need to continue to increase your credit score whenever possible, and paying down on some of your cards is a good way to do that.
The next thing that you want to do is get your money lined up, your funds that you're going to need for closing cost and down payment money. A lot of people don't know that if you have a 401k, you can borrow from that toward your home. But you want to make sure that those funds are readily available, and some of those things take time.
And also, if you have something of value that you want to sell to get cash to have for down payment closing costs, you want to consider doing that early, at least 6 months out, because a lender doesn't want to see a large amount of cash going into your account with no verification as to how it got there. So if there's anything you want to sell, do that early.
Right, and the funds that you're going to get or you're going to start saving for, you want to have those in your checking account or your savings account, because the bank will be looking for a money trail.
One opportunity that you may have as well in certain mortgages is to get a gift from a parent or a relative. And when they give you that gift, they're also going to need to supply a gift letter. So if they're going to give you a chunk of money, you want to get it into the bank, you want to have the gift letter to prove where it came from and how you got it.
Right, yeah, the banks want to see that early as well. They don't want to hear, we're going to get it by closing. You could lose your financing because of that. So the sooner the better, get it in the account and then have the gift letter signed.
The next thing that you're going to want to do is start getting paperwork around that the lenders are going to need in order to get you pre-approved for a mortgage. Some of those documents are going to include pay stubs, 401k money, if you're going to use that, your IRS for the last 2 years, bank statements. So those are things that you're just going to have to get around and have readily available.
They would like you to go into financial hibernation so that whatever you normally do, continue to do. Continue to put money into your savings account, continue to pay your normal monthly bills. If you are charging gas and some small items, pay that balance off every month, but don't cancel the card.
Yeah, canceling the card can negatively affect your credit as well. So just pay off as much as you can, a little at a time, and just live normally. Don't buy anything bigger than a bread box. Don't go out and buy a used car, a new car, furniture for the new house, whether you pay cash or in credit.
Yeah, don't do that prior to settlement. Get to settlement first.
Right.
One of the best ways for you to find out what you're going to need and how you're going to need to do it is to work with a realtor. And that realtor can help you find a trusted lender who is going to advise you what you need to do, what you need to work on, and how you're going to move forward in the transaction and what type of loan.
And once you get connected with that reputable lender, they're going to work you through the process and get your pre-approval letter for you so that you know exactly where you can shop. That way you're not looking at houses that you can't purchase. And it will give you an idea of what your monthly payment will be, and then you can decide your comfort zone and where you want to be shopping.
Right, yeah, you don't want to start looking without the pre-approval, because essentially you could lose the house that you fall in love with because you're not providing any proof to the seller that you're able to buy the property.
Exactly.
That's for sure. The other thing you want to make sure is that you're available, that you pay attention to what you might get phone calls on from the lender, even from a title company. They're going to tell you what you need to provide them. You need to be available, you need to see your text messages, you need to answer your phone, and you need to know that you have to be available to answer any questions through the mortgage process.
Yeah, and that's especially important from the time you go under contract until you get to closing. And the closer you get to closing, the more important it is that you be available.
And the more available you are to get the lender and the underwriters what they need, the faster you're gonna have everything accomplished to get to the closing table.
Exactly.
And that's the goal, is
Yeah.
to get to the closing table
Smoothly.
smoothly, yeah.
And we'll be
Absolutely.
glad to help you, direct you in the right direction to be able to do that. So that's a wrap. Thank you for joining us today. Please visit our YouTube channel at Century 21 Cover Bridges Realty, where we will continue to share episodes week after week regarding buying and selling real estate. And also visit our Facebook business page at Century 21 Cover Bridges, and where we share a lot of tips with you as well. So thanks a lot, and until later, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.